Laptops get warm, no surprise, especially ones with dedicated GPUs. You'll see those temps skyrocketing into the mid-90s. If only there was something to mitigate those roasting temps without compensating on performance. Well, this may be it. Llano reached out to me to review the V12 laptop cooling pad. With hundreds of positive reviews on Amazon, it must be good, right? Well, stick around to find out. By the way, we recently hit 1,000 subscribers, which is awesome, and I'm eternally grateful for all the support. If you do enjoy this video, remember to subscribe, like, and turn on notifications for more. Anyways, let's take a look at the Llano V12 and see if it's any good. For the tests, we'll be using a Dell G15 and ThinkPad P14s. I wanted to include a gaming laptop as that's its intended use case, and we all know how warm gaming laptops can get, and the ThinkPad as it is a workstation laptop. To start off, let's unbox the Llano V12. It came in a standard cardboard box, nice and secure. Opening up the box with my YouTube friendly knife, we can finally get into the goods. It came nicely packed with its accessories, an AC adapter, USB-C cable, and a spare dust filter for the behemoth of a fan this cooler packs inside. It's nice that they include that, and of course, your leaflets and warranty information. Let's take a better look at this thing. First impressions are quite good. It does feel sturdy and well made, which is to be expected given the price. It features an RGB strip encasing the main body, which adds a bit of character when gaming. Lights are customizable with 4 modes and 4 colours. I was expecting a few more colours since it is advertised as RGB, but this is merely cosmetic. The overall look to the cooler is pretty sick. I like how it doesn't look like your standard laptop cooler. You got these vents coming through the body where the airflow comes from, which gives it a discreet and sleek look, similar to a Dyson fan. Turning it around, you can see the intake fan, which is secured nicely, by which you can swap the filter when required. It's also height adjustable. These clips at the front help to keep it secure when at an angle. You can customize the fan's RPM from 300 all the way to 2800. This is easily done by the scroll wheel, and if you're curious, this is what the highest setting sounds like. Yeah, might be a bit too loud. We'll stick to 800 for the tests as this keeps a good balance of cooling and noise. More on the port selection, you get 3 USB-A ports, which is nice to have. The USB-C port is used to connect the laptop to the cooler, cause how else would it communicate with your laptop? One thing I wanted to mention is the price. For £129, it is on the pricier side of laptop coolers, so this would most likely appeal to people who already invested a lot in a gaming laptop or workstation. Let's see if that price is justified. To start off, let's do a Furmark stress test to see how those temps cope under strenuous conditions, and then the difference when we turn on the Llano V12. We'll also see how the performance is affected in both runs. Without the cooler on, we saw temps in the low 70s for the GPU and mid 80s for the CPU, which I'd say is quite high, but once we turned on that cooler, those temps dropped like a stone, with a 12 to 15 degree delta. CPU temps dropped even more than that. That's really impressive, especially with the fan at only 800 RPM. There was a slight performance gain, though nothing major. Next in Unigine Valley, we saw GPU temps in the 80s and CPU temps in the mid 90s, which is kinda mad. But with the cooler on, that figure dropped considerably, to around the low 60s for the GPU. CPU also saw similar drops. I'll be honest, I was not expecting a 20 degrees drop, so this result pleasantly surprised me. What we can say is that GPU temps decreased by a healthy amount when the Llano V12 is turned on. We also saw a performance gain of around 6 FPS with the cooler on. A 5% performance gain is nothing to brag about, but an increase is an increase at the end of the day. Now some gaming. Fortnite is notorious for creating absolute furnaces. I know that from experience. How will the Llano V12 affect its temps whilst gaming? Well, with no cooler, we saw GPU temps in the high 60s, low 70s, but those CPU temps were not looking so hot. Well, they were, but you get what I mean. With the cooler on, there was a 10 degree drop in GPU temps, but the CPU temps didn't really budge. Fluctuations around the low 80s to 90s was a common theme. I guess Fortnite is a bit too CPU intensive. Minecraft on shaders next. It was quite warm to begin with, GPU temps in the high 70s and CPU hovering around the high 80s most of the time. Will there be any difference with the cooler on? Well, almost immediately there was a 15 degree drop in GPU temps, but again CPU temps had some wild fluctuations going from 90 to 60 in some cases. This could just be my laptop, so your mileage may vary. I'd say on average the temperature was around the mid 70s. The Llano V12 is advertised to only support 15-inch laptops and above, but my ThinkPad P14s fit just fine. On the subject of ThinkPads, let's see how those temps hold up. In Unigine Valley, we saw GPU temps in the high 60s and CPU temps in the mid 80s. Turning on the cooler saw a pretty staggering drop to around 50 degrees for GPU and mid 60s for CPU. So far, the cooler is doing very well at cooling this ThinkPad. Performance gains were minor, again around 5%. Minecraft is a CPU intensive game, so this would properly test its temps. The GPU went from the mid 70s to the upper 50s, and CPU went from the high 90s to 100 in some cases to a much more tolerable 70 degrees, which is the biggest drop I've seen in all of the testing. I guess we can say the Llano v12 is definitely capable. That's all from me. What do you think about the Llano v12? Personally, I think it's a great option for someone who has a gaming laptop or workstation to reduce those temps, which it did quite well at. I'm also impressed with its functionality, range of RPMs and color options, so you can properly customize your setup. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, remember to give it a like, and why not subscribe for more future content. Thanks again for 1k subscribers, it really does mean a lot. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.